put me on. There we go. Good afternoon to you, my friends. We got the yep, we're right there. Whew. So, oh, I forgot my prop. I should maybe put that put that back on again. The snowplow guy. But tomato talk. Do we bite off more than we could chew? Well, I got a half-eaten tomato. I had salad yesterday. I'm gonna work that tomato into salad today. You're gonna do you bite off more than you can chew? Boy, do you eat your logo? Oh God, it's terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Obviously, I don't know what the heck I even want to talk about today. If if we get a few comments, maybe we'll just go short. All I know is that it's Friday. It's been quite the week, and I can tell you, if you want to see what's going on here, I've been I don't know how to. Well, I've been kept the back portion of this thing clean. Oh, let's do the hair. Do the hair and makeup. All right, no makeup. And but man, I've been cleaning up. I'm gonna clean up a whole bunch of shit I got laying around over there. That's it. Those are the clothes I got hanging out from the drawers. Yeah, I know it's a mess, but getting that together, I got a whole pile of stuff from Take Steps. That's the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. By the way, the bowling kickoff event is scheduled for March of next year. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, is that too far in advance? I don't know, but it is far in advance. But then again, it's got to be done. We take over the whole bowling alley. It's really cool. Definitely cool. Even with that spin class. I mean, we took or the spin event. It was 3 hours, maybe something like that. It was all told. By the time we got done, there was three different sessions, and I mean, it was great. There was a push over in Melville. We'll give a shout out to them on that. That is right on Route 110, south of the expressway. So that was cool. Beautiful place. Had no idea it was that big. It was huge. Absolutely, positively huge. I should get some of these photos up over there, and I did not do that. I actually fell a little bit behind in so many of these photos. And again, I've been working on cleaning out, the closet, these boxes, from stuff I've moved years ago, never opened. Found all kinds of things. One thing I found that was pretty interesting, just of late, is my mother did this, and she did a family tree, and she went back a couple of generations, not far. And then my sister tried to do it. It was kind of tough as that went, but who knows? Maybe we'll pick that one up again. Man, that's possible. Hey, maybe we'll make something out of all these Crohn's and colitis T-shirts I got. Hey, that's fun. Then I got all these T-shirts I had when I was running. I got so much stuff. When I was doing those running events, I used to live in Queens, and I did a lot of the New York Roadrunner stuff. When I was running, it's years ago, 91, 92, ran the New York City Marathon both of those years, involved in so many of their events in both of those years. Got so many T-shirts from both of those years. And then well, relatively recent, I think it's 8 years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago, maybe it was 9 years ago, was the last time running a marathon. Haven't done much of that. Got all these nonprofit T-shirts and things like that. Ran across another one that I forgot though. UCP, United Cerebral Palsy, had the opportunity to MC their event. Goes back to the whole thing, this whole theme of this week, cleaning house. Also goes back to the whole theme of this week of keeping track of what you do. Keeping track of what you do. That kind of thing. So let's go with today's question, though, was, do we bite off more than we could chew? And the answer to that is no. I don't think we do. Because what happens is you get so involved and then something happens. Some little wake-up call comes along the way. Or some other resource comes along the way and makes it work. Or you learn how to get it organized that much more. Or you just say, darn, man, I got to start over again. And take all those notes and put them in piles, throw out stuff, donate stuff, redo all those boxes you got sitting in the closet, all those T-shirts you've got sitting in your drawers that you've never or haven't worn for years. And you just start again. And that's what it's about. I don't think it's a matter of being overwhelmed. I think sometimes we get to a point where we're like, oh, overwhelmed. We reach that point where it's like, boom, it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to refresh, to do, to start over again, to start something a little bit different. Remember, you do the same thing time and time again and think it's going to change. What is that called? Insanity. That's total insanity to think that if you were to do things exactly the same, you're going to get a different outcome. You're not. You need to do it differently. So take that word overwhelmed, biting off more than you could chew, getting crushed by it, and say you're reaching your wake-up call moment. Reaching the wake-up call moment. We're like, okay, whew, this is starting to get to be a lot. What do I need to do? What do you need to do? Depending upon what we're talking about here, whether it's, let's stop that share. He's still driving around in the snow. But depending upon what your wake-up call moment is, if it's eating properly and that kind of thing, you're going to reach out to Hillary. If it's a business coach, a sales coach, you're going to reach out to those, to those people. If it's just yourself, you're going to need to reach out to someone who is a trusted person that you could speak to. Sometimes it's a spouse, sometimes it's not. I'm waiting for a comment coming back on that one. But sometimes it's not. I mean, sometimes our spouses, our significant others, and even sometimes our really close friends, they don't want to see you get hurt. And that's not good either, because sometimes we need to reach that inflection point where we're like, okay, what do I got to change? And if it's just a matter of dropping everything, I don't think that's really the answer. Maybe it's putting stuff on hold and coming back to it at a later date. I'm working on this project right now, but perhaps there's no downside to it waiting for 3 months. Let's put it aside, but put it someplace. Put it in a folder, a paper folder. Put it in a folder. Put it on your computer someplace in a separate file, and put a date on that file. Review this file again in January of 23, of May of 23, of November of 23. And here's what it's going to happen. It's going to be something will come up where it's much, much more important for you to do it right now, but you know where to look for it. Or when that comes up, you're like, maybe I still don't need to do this. Tag on another 3 months. Let it just kind of go and filter back again. We probably do a very good job of prioritizing our day, right? Go and figure out what we need to do each and every day to make sure we get the day right. That's important. Do we do the same things for some of the bigger projects that we have? I know sometimes with me, no, it's like, oh, you might run across the right person, stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, that elevator pitch becomes a 2 hour a 2 hour presentation, and they're like, oh, and then maybe you can connect this one with that one, and this could happen with there, and then maybe that's a possibility, and you justify all kinds of crazy things. No. Take those projects and set them aside. Make them organized, but make those notes organized. Set them aside that way. It was my wake-up call with that one, my inflection moment. As I was going through some of the boxes in here, you know what I found? Hey, here's what I found. That was Crohn's and colitis email. Sorry, I should just look at the camera. Forget the computer here. Stay focused. Stay super focused. I can't stay focused for half an hour every once in a while. Talk about staying focused over the course of a year. I have much to learn. Oh, so much to learn. That's why I need to listen to these things myself. It's like, okay, what I say? Do I really do that? I wonder if I really do. I got to hold myself accountable. But that's where it comes from with the spouse, those close people. Are they going to really hold you accountable? Are they going to tell you, bride, That's not a good idea. Well, they can say, oh, yeah, if it brings you joy, if it makes you smile, then go ahead and do it. What is the best advice on that one? I would guess it's actually something in between. Why does that make you smile? What is it that is really driving you to do that whole thing? That's tough. That's tougher. Sat down with a friend of mine, coach friend of mine. Let's be clear about this. And this was not a friend conversation we had, it was a coach conversation we had. Yes. True, and I absolutely appreciate it, dude. If you ever run across this that comment, I just want you to know I super appreciate it and think about it many, 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 many times. And maybe that's part of the inspiration for even doing this whole thing. You know, right now about this time management, biting off more than you can chew, and all the rest of that kind of stuff. It's like, how much time do we have over the course of a day, of the week, of the month, over a lifetime? Now that conversation there had to do with over the day, right? Over the day and the week, there was a few things, filtered in, like that. But it's like, for a while, I was going 26 hours a day. I mean, it was, if I did everything to its fullest extent, that was wrong. It was definitely wrong. You know, definitely wrong. So be cautious of that. Don't get to that point, but get to that inflection point where you really want to take a look at what it is that you're doing. All right. So now here's the difference between someone who doesn't want you to be upset versus that. So he was like, you have to cut out something. What is it that you are going to cut out? Not what would you like to cut out, is what will you cut out? I was like, oh man, that's a heck of a lot different. And then I had to sit there and really justify, not so much as to him, but justify to myself why I was doing each one of these things. What was the benefit with it? Where on that scale is it that it was actually helping me as much as it was helping other people? But where is that balance? Where do you find that you are spending so much time working other, this is his comment too, the other business plan, where you're working with other on other, not with, but on other people's stuff, to the point where you're not helping you. And then all of a sudden, that business plan thing there, but then all of a sudden your day just goes boom. It just disappears. Just totally disappears. And then you throw in a little sidebar thing that shows up, something unexpected. Someone gives you a call where it's really something that you have to deal with. That you have to deal with it. You just have to deal with it. All of a sudden, you got an hour or 2 hours just boom, cut out right in the middle. That's kind of messes you up, doesn't it? It shouldn't, but if you're going 26 hours a day, it definitely does. Seems like this whole thing all about mental health, isn't it? Right? Because if you're able to take these things and compartmentalize them, if you're able to take these 6 projects you're working on, whatever it is, and keep them in separate spots, keep them in separate folders, and then put a time frame as when you're going to revisit them. Look, if there's 6 different projects you're working on, it's for work, and you need to speak to these people once a week. You know what you do? Put a date on there the next time you're going to speak to them. You got all these calendars, Calendly, you got all these kinds of things, that you could use in order to organize yourself. I'm going to say automate. A little hesitant to use that word automate. But to get those reminders coming back, your digital Post-it notes, coming back to you, to keep track of that, that's all well and good. But get the stuff off. Get the stuff off. I mean, I got my blotter piece of paper thing here on my desk. I write notes all over it. I got notes all over the place on it. Does it do me any good at this point in time? No. If I need to find something, it's taking me 5 minutes to go find it on there. That's not good. Definitely not good. Getting it all into spots, getting it all into files, getting it all to separate Word documents. It's so easy to do if you continually do it, and do it on a consistent basis, and do it all of the time. Do it all the time. Cleaning house, man. Clean house. Clean house. Go to a clean slate. Forget about waiting for New Year's resolutions. It's crap. All right. Do it now. Start this weekend. Start now. Heck, if you're up in Buffalo, they're expecting, hey, there you go. If you you got you, Earl. I just saw that one. If you got if you're up in Buffalo, you got all that snow, you're not going again. Well, you could shovel snow over there. You burn a few calories doing that. But oh my gosh, they're gonna get crushed with snow, so they'll be inside. So do it then. It's not racing season, Earl. You could do it now too. You know, and, and keep everything clean, fresh, and neat, and then in separate files. This way, you can make it work and make it work for you to make that happen. That's going to be important to do. All right. Without that. So what do you got there? Errol, always a pleasure. You got so many things you post about food. I got to tell you, it's always something. Yeah, Michael, you still want to be the mustache and the beard back? I don't know. We're gonna stay clean shaven for a while. It's a new beginning. Let's call it that. The clean shaven look as that comes to be. All right, so making files, on the Microsoft systems and so like it's really easy to do. That's fine. You need to get the Manila folders. If you need Manila folders, call me. I just ran across a whole box of those things. The hanging folders they put in a file drawer and all the rest of that. That's like, yeah, everything's gotten so digitized, and with some of the digital signing things, I found that it's a whole new way to get those documents set up and it's some respects it's different, whatever. I don't know, it's not that easy. It shouldn't be that complicated. It's definitely time consuming to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and that's part of it. That is absolutely part of it. But break those projects apart, figure out what it is that really means something to you, and don't get overwhelmed with it. Don't bite off more than you could chew. Bite off the proper amount of food. Don't get carried away on that one. Oh my gosh, that's altogether too good. But this way you can continue to manage every challenge that you have, every project that you have, everything that comes up. Talking about not biting off more than you could chew. I can't imagine what they're talking like feet of snow. We'll go check on our guy over here that's plowing the snow. Uh, feet of snow? Did I actually say that? I don't think I'm allowed to say feet of snow. But a couple of feet of snow. Let's see how he's doing. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's got a bit of snow. Let's see when we get some sound. I wonder if I could play the sound on here. I would guess I can. There he is. Uh-oh. He's taking a break.
No, Robert's the most famous YouTuber. Robert, if you're listening, say hi. We miss you. Or Joe. Joe, where you at too?
Well, whatever. But that is live, by the way.
Not have daily.
Oh, started 8 hours ago. Oh, it's not live.
Only do my
It started 8 hours ago. Wow.
Yeah, they if they want.
All right, let's kill him. Well, let's kill him. Let's stop the share on that one. Let's get back to StreamYard. Let's see if I can find a quick forecast before we break it apart. Hey, there's my wife. She tells me the truth. She definitely tells me the truth, not just the what I want to hear, but the truth of the matter. Weather, Buffalo, New York. It is snowing. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can get a photo. Nah, I'm sure I'm gonna get hit with all kinds of things. But they moved the football game they were gonna play over there. They moved it to Detroit. I always thought Detroit was the big one when it comes to the snow. Let's get back over here. StreamYard. There we go. We're back again. But I don't know, crazy stuff. All right, so that's what's going on. Hey, next week, man, it's Thanksgiving week. Is that crazy? Yeah. This whole year has just kind of flown by so fast. Had a whole lot of fun. I know the recap of the year. I mean, that's something you got to do on an annual basis. Not the New Year's goals, the rest of that stuff. Do those goals all the time. But wow, what an incredible year this has been. A lot of things have opened up again post-COVID. That's fine. I know we got some other stuff going on right now. Many businesses getting their employees. You've seen some of those headlines. is getting their employees, back to the office, back to returning to an office. Um, I got a day job. I don't think that's going to happen by me because what I do covers a broad range of the country where people are located. So it serves no real purpose. So I think I'll be here at home. Sorry about that, Kat. but that'll be the case. So that's interesting. It allows me to do other things. So that's good. I don't have that spend that commuting time. So, that part of it works for me. But it's great that we're making our way through this, yeah, through this period of our lives, with COVID. It's been a real, it's been some real tough times that we had to go through in that one. That's been a shame. Politics has been all over the place this past year or years, as that has been. Everything else is happening from a local business standpoint. You know, I went to a meeting. What I got? I got a few minutes here. I went to a meeting with the Suffolk County Alliance of Chambers this past week. Had a great time doing that. That was Monday. Whew, let me tell you something. We were out and about, did some traveling at the end of last week, and to sit through, it was a 2 hour meeting. Oh no, 3 hour meeting. Turn it back, 3 hour meeting at with multiple speakers. It was good, and everybody was good and stuff like that. But to sit for 3 hours in a meeting, and then I went to another meeting afterwards. Ooh, let me tell you, it gets a little tiring. But the news was awfully exciting, and a lot of what was discussed at that meeting was local businesses, truly local businesses, right? And what they're doing locally and how they need to continue to grow locally. The revitalization of downtown areas. Eric Alexander, if you don't know him, I should have him on. But he does Vision Long Island. He runs that. It's all about the downtown areas. He had he had Pete Scalzo from Racetrack Not Street was one of his guests. He was on his program a few weeks ago. I got to get that broadcast out. And with current events that have taken place over in Riverhead, it looks like racing will be back again next year. Looks like there still is open-ended questions that go along with that. That has to do with who's going to own the park, and we could save that conversation for another day. But let us go on the assumption that drag racing will be back again next year. Hopefully, I get the invite to do the announcing again next year. That was a heck of a learning experience along the way. The town of Brookhaven, the Brookhaven supervisor was there talking about revitalizing downtown areas. It's great stuff. It's really challenging and disheartening, as we drive down our streets and we see all these strip malls and malls, for that fact, that are sitting there with a lot of open space. I'm sorry, a lot of vacant buildings, not open space. Big difference. A lot of vacant buildings. It's like we should do something with them, right? Get businesses in there, even if they're temporary, anything. Get businesses, back in there. Meeting rooms, anything, anything to keep those folks that operate those malls, keep the rent coming in for them, but also keep the foot traffic in the area and things like that. That's really super important to make that happen. There was another company that was looking to do business in New York that hasn't in the past. Even a company that has Amazon, what they were talking about was actually working with many of the smaller businesses here in different kind of partnership arrangements, and also hiring. There's a lot of positions there too. And that was one of the reasons why I was really excited about attending this thing at Suffolk Community College, is because I had the opportunity, besides listening to this at the Suffolk County Alliance of Chambers meeting, but also meeting with the David, who's the chair of the department for Suffolk County Automotive and the program that they're operating over there. I can tell you, a lot of stuff that I've been talking about, I mentioned about if there was a motorsports track or a racetrack, and how that's a catalyst for these high school vocational programs. And automotive was the one area picked. Obviously, with the cars, Turns out it was STEM included also. But the meeting I had with him at that facility, was really fascinating because he explained to me in real life terms, this is not theoretical terms, in real life terms, what these students were. Now, these were college students earning a 1-year certification, all right? But these students were coming with experience of working on cars, whether it be through high school programs or whether they're doing after school or whatever. But they are learning, they're earning the certification inside of Suffolk Community College within that 1-year program to then become technicians, and they're being hired right out of school, or sometimes maybe before they even graduate, but hired right out of school. And there's sponsorship programs that are going on, internships, that are sponsored by one of the automotive companies. And then he showed me how one of the institutions is looking to hire students, right out of there. It was a $60,000 a year salary. $60,000 a year salary. So here they go. The students are going in. If they're paying for school, all right, they're paying for 1 year tuition. It's 13 grand or whatever the number is. Don't quote me, but it's about that. It's something in the teens. And then they're coming out with the potential, real life potential. He showed me the job, the job posting, real life potential to go and earn 60. And I can tell you, with many of the companies that I've spoken with that are in the automotive industry, they're looking for people. With many of the businesses through Ron Loveland on the manufacturing side, there's thousands of open positions for people who want to go into manufacturing. Look, if you know how to change brakes, do you know how to, manufacture something? The answer probably is yes, because you have this skill. You have this skill and you have the ability to learn how to use pieces of equipment. So is it different to use pieces of equipment? Absolutely. But if you know how to use this, if you know how to learn that stuff, I'm sure you know how to learn that. And that's amazing. Allendale Machinery, got to visit them. Not this week. It was in the past. Amazing. Amazing. The Haas Foundation supporting our local schools. Amazing. John Lombardo, I spoke with him, with what is being requested of him by major organization about the need for people to go into machinery and go into manufacturing. Amazing. Even motor engines, motorboat engines, outboard engines, stuff like that. There's also a huge demand for a whole bunch of things. Is that more than any of us could chew on? Nah, if you get the right team, build the right team. Take these different projects and put them into different things. I mean, as you can see, I got a whole bunch of things working on. But ultimately, what it comes down to is helping make that connection between the schools and these businesses. That's what I really would like to be, focusing on the whole thing. At this stuff, it's just great. That's what I want to do from a, let's call it, nonprofit standpoint. The rest of it, I want to be able to talk about it. I'm going to continue to do that here. So all these projects you're working on, put them in different places. Keep them there. You know what'll happen? They're going to become more organized, more of a picture in your head. And when you run across the right people, and you will, I just got an email about an hour ago on something. It was great. Then boom, you know who to go to, you know who to make the connection with, and then boom, you get out of it. But just because you're out of it does not mean you're not a part of it. You absolutely are. You might be the most integral part of the whole thing. You're making the connection. Make that connection. Make the connection where it means the most to you, and push a lot of the other stuff aside. So no, it's not a matter of biting off more than you can chew. It's finding that inflection moment. You're like, okay, let's get it together. Let's get it together. And when we all get it together, we're going to speak well. We're going to speak often, and we're going to live inspired. And that is what the key is to the whole thing. Hey, listen, enjoy the weather if you're down here on Long Island this weekend. Good luck up in Buffalo. Anybody in between, drive carefully. We'll see how much snow you wind up getting on the whole thing. We're back again next week, Thanksgiving week. We're probably going to skip Thanksgiving Day, but who knows? Maybe we'll interview a turkey that day. Maybe. Have a great day. All right, let's go. Let's get the tomato on. Let's get a little music happening, and let's get the heck on out of here.